I am immortal, I'll never fade away. I'm a legacy that lives beyond, far beyond the grave.
Hey, this is Frankie for 96.7 KCAL Rocks. We are at NAMM 2014 in the Fender EVH booth talking to Gaurav Bali from Eve to Adam. How you doing?
Good, Frankie. How are you?
Good. First time at NAMM, huh?
It is. I'm a little overwhelmed, as we were talking about before. It's kind of like being lost in Disneyland. I don't know what ride I want to go on next, and I have no idea how to get to it either. So I think,
you know what? But you have no parents, so you can. It's like a free-for-all.
This is true. And by the way, your offer for me to walk around with you guys is, I'm definitely taking it, because otherwise I'm not going to make anything. I have friends that are playing in different booths at different times, and I'm afraid I'm going to miss everything because I'm not going to be there on time.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there. All right. So
if I miss it, it's Frankie's fault.
So obviously we're in the EVH booth. So you are an EVH guitar player.
I am. I'm an EVH guitar player, and I also play the amplifiers and cabinets.
So what drew you, other than the name Eddie Van Halen, but what drew you to this product?
Well, originally, obviously, that is what drew me to the product, was the name, and knowing that he's had a history of being an innovator. You know, he used to build his own guitars. Like the striped ones and all that. Those are all just, he bought a body and a neck in like 1975, slapped them together, and created a sound that we all try to copy 35 years later. So obviously the guy kind of knows what he's doing with this kind of stuff. So I just tried out one of the amps at a local guitar center and just fell in love with it. I started playing it actually for a full year before I even met anyone from the company. And I met Chris Canella, who brought me out here as the product manager and a good friend. I met him through the guitar player in Creed, Eric Friedman.
Okay.
He was an EVH guy too. And I was able to meet Chris in Phoenix when we were on tour with Creed, and developed a relationship and a friendship, and next thing you know, I'm here.
Well, I couldn't imagine you playing a guitar with a more notable name.
Yeah, the funny thing is though, a lot of people don't know what EVH stands for, so it's kind of funny. I
guess you have to be in the inner circle.
Yeah, exactly. They don't make the connection, believe it or not. But yeah, they make amazing sounding stuff, and I can't imagine. I just did another email interview with somebody who was, it was like a gear review thing, and they were, the question was like, what piece of gear can't you live without? One of those. So I named the head, and one of the questions was, do you see yourself changing it at any time? And I said, of course not. It's my favorite piece of gear. Why would I change my favorite piece of gear?
Don't fix what's not broken, right?
Exactly.
So tell me about Eve to Adam. First, what I want to know is, how did the name come about?
The name is actually, our singer Taki found it in a book of poetry called Paradise Lost. And it's one of the subsections. When he was in, I guess, probably his freshman year of college, he came across it, and he liked the Eve to Adam caught his eye, the way it was written. And he sort of, started thinking about what it meant, and it's got a lot of meanings as far as musical meanings. Eve being the softer side, Adam being kind of a heavier rock side. Even people, everyone's got their Eve and Adam side, whether you're a man or a woman. So it kind of works on a lot of different levels, and also it doesn't pigeonhole the kind of music it is either. It doesn't sound like a blatantly heavy metal name or a country act or a pop act. You could kind of do anything with that name. Although the funny part is that obviously the first thing people think is it a religious band, which we are not. So that's actually the first thing.
No, I never thought that.
Really, a lot of people.
Because a lot of bands do that. They'll take something that's kind of sounds nice lyrically or whatever, and they kind of put that little twist on it. It's almost like that smoke and mirrors kind of thing, like we're going to show you this, but we're really this. Right. It makes the listener curious, I think.
Yeah,
when you see that name, you kind of want to know more about the band.
I think so, yeah, I agree. That's one of the reasons, because, the joke in the band is, writing songs is easy, performing is easy. The hard part, thinking of the name of the band. That's really the hard part, because there's so many pitfalls in picking a name that, 6 months later you're like, oh my God.
Why did we pick that?
Our band that, so I think luckily they got the hard part done before I even met them, about a year before, so.
So what we have discovered in our research of your band is that you guys didn't always have it easy. You had some rough patches there.
Had? No, it's
Tell me about it.
These days it's always a little bit rough in certain ways, but I mean we've been around for a while. Definitely had our ups and downs, as every band has that's been coming up around our time. We sort of entered the music business in a time where things were changing with a lot of things. Everything from the illegal downloading and albums selling less to just a general. I don't know what the word is. Just people started thinking that we shouldn't get paid anymore. People started saying, well, it should have been free all along, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, well, it costs money to do this. The thing I always tell people, and again, I'm not saying this in any kind of bitter, complaining way. I'm happy to do what I do, but the joke I always make with people is like, okay, so you work for free then, right? You wake up at 6 a.m, you get stuck in traffic for an hour, and you get to work. You hate your boss, you hate your job, and you do it for free, right?
Nope.
And they're like, no. But yet you want us to do it for free, So it's obviously it's not the same thing. I mean, we love what we do. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's also not apples and oranges either. We have to.
I can't imagine someone telling you should do it for free.
Yeah, I mean, we still have to pay rent and buy groceries and pay for touring and tour buses and the whole thing. It's very expensive to do this. So we're lucky to be able to do this. Even though we've obviously had some rough times, we're getting a lot of great support from radio these days, which we're very thankful for. Support of great companies like EVH and you guys as well, obviously. So things are definitely looking up. Yeah, we just put out our new album, Locked and Loaded, in September.
What label is that on?
It is on our management, 3 for 5 Entertainment. They actually started a label for us as well, and we're on Megaforce.
Okay.
And which is cool, because that's a label that all my favorite, a lot of my favorite bands when I was growing up, especially the heavier bands,
right,
were all on Megaforce, and now Megaforce has sort of expanded. I think the Black Crowes are on Megaforce now, and they've diversified, so we're very proud of that too. It's being well received.
So you have the latest single is Immortal, and we checked it out. It's a good song, and I like what I liked about the video was the kind of cool ambiance you had. Like, where did you film that? Was that in a? It looked like the lobby of an old theater.
It is.
Oh,
It is the lobby of an old theater. It's a theater in Jersey City, New Jersey, that actually has been around since the 20s. And that right away fit the theme of the song. It never faded away. It's still there, standing strong. And we went in to check it out and realized, as you just stated, that the lobby was actually way cooler than the theater itself. It's got these old, balconies that are lit up really well. So as soon as we walked in and the director walked in, Davo is the director. He did a bunch of, he did Seven Dust, Butcher Baby, some other stuff. He's a really talented and cool guy. As soon as we walked in, he figured out that what he wanted to do was, just have us play and set up the camera so it was focusing up. And that's why you see the balconies in all the shots, because had it been straight on, you wouldn't see the balconies.
Yeah, there's actually a part in there where it looks like there's some crosses in the back.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's because again, we really wanted to concentrate on a performance video this time, whereas the previous video for the first single, Straight Jacket Supermodel, was a storyline. We wanted to feature just the band this time playing the song, and obviously that makes it a little bit tougher because you really have to worry about the location then. And so we were like, okay, this could work. Just the band with this location and the song, we could have something that people will want to sit through for 3.5 minutes, and everyone's
we
really
sat through it.
Great. Yeah, so it worked.
And it wasn't painful at all. It was fine.
Great.
So tell me about the album Locked and Loaded. Like, someone who's not familiar with Eve to Adam, what can they expect when they hear this?
A lot of energy, a lot of what we feel are the best songs we've ever written. The one biggest difference in this album from our previous ones is that we actually wrote with outside writers this time. We were able to work with some really talented people, which I'm not sure if you know who was involved with this record, but just a quick summary is the 3 people that we wrote with were Eric Bass, the bass player from Shinedown. We wrote 2 songs with him. We wrote 3 songs with an amazing songwriter from out here in California named Dave Bassett, who has also done Shinedown and Hailstorm and a lot of other bands. And we also co-wrote with Elvis Basquet, who produced the album, and he's actually out here right now doing Slash's new record. So not another, bad guy.
People who've been around the block a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. Elvis does all the Alter Bridge stuff. We actually met him through Mark Tremonti when we were on the Creed tour, and Mark was nice enough to put us in contact, and Elvis ended up luckily liking the band, and we had a great time working with him. And so at the end of the day, it comes down to songs, on a record, and we feel that this is definitely our strongest effort to date.
And speaking of songwriters, I read that Desmond Child is a big influence in your band in songwriting.
Well, he was involved in the band very early on. When my singer Taki Sasseris was going to school in Miami, Desmond had he was actually based down there, and I believe he had a production company down there, and Taki was interning there. And so that's how that
See, rock stars do intern. They start somewhere.
Absolutely, you have to start somewhere. So he started hanging out with Desmond more, around the office, and pretty soon Desmond, decided that he wanted to, form a band to produce with Taki, and that's how Eve to Adam originally came about.
That's a great story. Yeah, I'm hanging out with Desmond Child today.
Yeah, he was involved early on, so I have a couple of great stories of hanging out with him. So he's a good guy.
Nice memories. Okay, so now what is Eve to Adam? What are we to expect from you guys in 2014?
A lot of touring. We've been home since the holidays, taking a little bit of a break. That's why luckily I was able to come here this time, because I've been wanting to for years. But we're always last year at this time we were making our record, and the year before that I'm sure we were on tour. So we're home right now. I'm out here, and then we're actually going out in the middle of February with a band called Escape the Fate, which we're very excited about, and have already booked some really good summer radio festivals and all that, and we'll be just on the road bringing it to the people.
You like doing the festivals?
Yeah, I do. It's a double-edged sword in a certain way, because we usually play in the afternoon, and it's a little bit hard sometimes to get the vibe of our music in the afternoon when it's light outside, but we've learned how to do that. Every band has to do it, because at the end of the day, no matter, even a lot of the really big bands, like when they play big festivals, even here and in Europe, a lot of them play during the day, so you have to be able to do it. We're getting better at it, and the other great thing about festivals is usually there's a really big band headlining, which we get to have a few drinks and check out afterwards. So that's
well, the thing about festivals too is people plan on it being an all-day event, and they get there early.
They do. We've I remember one of the first ones we played, we were our set was at noon, and the night before we were like, oh my god, we don't even wake up till noon. Who's going to be there? And sure enough, walk out on stage at noon, and there's 4,000 people already with 2 beers into the day, ready to rock. So yeah,
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and yeah, people come there to have a good time, stay all day, and obviously, you get to play to a lot of people in one show, which is obviously always great.
Well, okay, the album is locked and loaded. It's Eve to Adam, Gaurav Bali, the guitar player, and they're going to be on the road 2014 this year. Thanks so much for giving us so much of your time.
Thanks a lot for having me, Frankie. It's great to meet you.